Good morning and happy Saturday. It's Sharifa Hardy, your friend, your host, your girl, and it is Saturday. So, of course, I have that Saturday energy. We are speaking with a very special guest today. Now, often do you speak to people who are transformational guides or healers, but we have one today. Let's welcome Kerry to the show. Good morning, Kerry. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited at my live tarot reading. I can't wait. I need some girl time. I need like girl energy, girl support.
I like you. I like you. Let me tell you something, Kerry.
Hmm.
My mom told me about 20 years ago, you should do readings. And I was like, I am not going to do readings. I don't need the people laughing at me. I don't need the people stoning me. I'm not going to do it. Right. 20 years later, it's all that I want to do. But 20 years ago, because I've been reading forever, I'm a third generation reader. I would even just, because of course I didn't have the lives and everything 20 years ago, but I would go to read for people and I would go straight into the cards. 20 years later, we'll get to the cards, Kerry. We'll get to the cards. Don't you know what I mean? We got to let it marinate a little bit. We got to see where the conversation goes.
Okay.
We got to talk about you. What is a transformational guide and healer?
Oh, a transformational guide and healer. I actually call myself a trauma to enlightenment coach.
Okay. Well, I got a lot of trauma. Can you take me to enlightenment?
I can teach you how to love yourself enough to expand your emotional range so that you experience enlightenment. We can talk about that.
How long does that take? Is it like a 30 seconds or less plan?
No. My first enlightenment experience was 3 days. And I was like 150 pounds at the time. I'm 5'5" and it was in great shape. I lost 12 pounds. From sitting in my chair and vibrating so high. So this is what I had to learn. So I have a master's degree in East Asian religious studies. I speak Chinese. I learn classical Chinese. I've lived in Chinese Buddhist monasteries. Like, you would think I would have understanding about what an enlightenment experience is, but I didn't. And I didn't know that I didn't, until it happened to me. And so, I was just sitting in my chair after a lot of healing work that I was doing, years of healing work. Let's see, 8 years of intense healing work. And 9 years. And then I sat in my chair, started vibrating higher, and I couldn't sleep that night. I was sitting in my chair vibrating, and the next morning vibrating even higher, and I heard enlightenment. Like I'd reached the level, because I had to learn after that, what is enlightenment and how do I identify it? Because my kid's like, Mom, did you go to a mental hospital? Like, what happened to you? Like, what is it? And so I had to teach myself. I teach my kids. I have 3 kids. So I started doing research, and I found Dr. David R. Hawkins, The Map of Consciousness. Right. And he shows how we're all energy bodies, and our souls express themselves through our emotions that vibrate at different frequencies, with shame at like 20 hertz, anger about 70, love at like 200, compassion 400, and enlightenment and emotion 700 to 1,000 hertz.
Oh, wow.
So that's a lot of electricity going through. And also, as women, we experience emotions longer because we have to process them neurologically different than men. We connect to source energy. So we channel source energy. Our nervous system is far more robust than men, evidenced by the higher infant mortality rate amongst male infants. It's hard for them to come into a body with a more fragile nervous system and then survive. And so I experienced it for 3 days, where you hear a lot of male enlightenment stories is like 3 to 4 hours, but that's, normal for a guy, where we gotta go in and then we gotta come out. It takes a lot longer.
Okay, I have a whole lot that I have to go through with what you just said. Like, every time you keep going, I have question after question after question. But I'm gonna go with my first question. You were sitting there for 3 days. So you just sat there. Did you eat? You just sat for 3 days?
Drank a little water, but I was, you know how you feel like you change your wound into wisdom, and like you feel better, and you get like a higher vibrating, and then you're higher vibrating. So what happened was, when I was 45, my mom passed away, and this is her. Wow. Yeah.
Very
She passed away
good.
on my birthday, which was
Okay.
one of her ways of celebrating how close we were. We have my birthday and now her death day together. And that was the day my intuition told me it's time to remember my psychic gifts, to
Okay.
embrace them, and also heal from my childhood trauma. So I
Oh.
had to learn how to surf the waves of life. I had like lived in the valley of darkness with
Mhm.
35 years of debilitating lower back pain, didn't know how to get out, didn't know how to have healthy relationships with myself, with others. I was just negative all the time. I was negative Nancy, so to speak. and, um, and so I started going to healers and learning how to go into the pain a little and then come out a little and into the pain a little and then come out. And then, you learn to surf the waves of life and you can go into deeper pain and then you have higher epiphanies and then deeper pain. It's like learning to climb Mount Everest by starting on a little molehill with Mount Everest being enlightenment.
Okay. So, and that took 3 days. I think I need to be the man's virgin. I think that
Well,
I need
you,
I
but you
need the 3 to
can't.
4 hours. No, I can't.
That's the thing. Your soul has a plan for you. I didn't know it was coming. I mean, I was told I was intuitively guided 2 years prior that I would experience enlightenment with a different man than I was interacting with. So in my book, which my book is My Inner Heroine, Exploring Feminine Pain, goes over this process about how I healed, all my healing techniques, and then my enlightenment experiences up through the end of 2024.
Okay.
Doesn't include 2025. And so, I detail in there all how that works and all how that came about and how in 2021, my intuition said, you're going to experience enlightenment, but with a different man. And that's exactly what happened. But I met men like at yoga or DMing, and then I never went on a date with any of them, but I would go home, talk to their souls, heal, and be like, do I want to go on a date? Wait, we're not ready yet. No. Oh, you're not monogamous. Oh, you're having sex with the yoga instructor in front of me. Oh, so are you. Oh, you too. Oh, you're all having sex in front of me. Why does this keep happening to me? So that was
You saw all of that intuitively?
Well, like that was like over time. Yeah. Over
Okay.
time, I could see that the first guy had multiple women. I'm like, why is this one guy? What is this multiple women thing? Like, I didn't remember having this problem as a child, but I've had this problem my whole life. You know how we attract in similar men because of our wounds. This is what was happening to me. I had to face my wounds. And one major wound that I had is I'm replaceable. So the way that my soul found to show me that I'm replaceable is to present it in front of me with these rich men, like, a multimillionaire, the first one. The second one, Andrew Tate's best friend, Justin Waller, 16 years younger. And I helped both of them. Then 2 fire academy instructors. And then they all led me back to my guy from my childhood, who's currently the head of global security at GoDaddy.
Okay, well, we just have to put the disclaimer on the show that when we start mentioning names.
No, I mentioned name. I have to mention his name because
I'm just saying the views of the guests on this show do not necessarily reflect the views of Read Me Live or Sharifa Hardy.
Thank you.
I'm just putting that out there. But I love what you had to say. And you said that you have a book. Can you give us the book name again, please?
Yeah. My Inner Heroine, Exploring Feminine Pain.
Okay. And what motivated you to write the book?
Well, I would say that I kind of I could feel it in my energy. Oh, there's a book. I'm like, okay, I'm not ready yet. Oh, there's a book. Okay. So and there's 6 men in my book, and I call them my heroes because they reflected my wounds back to me so I could see where I needed to improve. Right.
Okay.
And then with the 5th one, the fire captain, I was intuitively called to write an email to the Dean of Public Safety, his boss's boss, about my experience with the 2 fire academy instructors, the challenges I had and their behavior in public. And this is all in the book. And
so you told on them.
What?
I said you told on them.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. I had to hold them accountable, right? To their oath of office, especially the fire captain.
Okay.
He oversees the Wildland Fire Academy locally. And, and they have the first responders have a huge mental health crisis. But when they,
Let me just say this, Kerry. I just want to be clear. When I said you told on them, I wasn't saying that in a negative way,
Oh, no, 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 no.
because people tell me all the time, they like, don't tell Sharifa because Sharifa will tell it, right?
Mm,
But I'm the kind of person who I'm a empath.
yeah,
I'm very, very sensitive.
yeah.
And one of the things that I'm sensitive to is when I go through situations and other people knew, and after it comes out or after it happens, I'm like, okay, but you knew, you didn't say anything. And they're like, oh, who am I to say anything? Okay, but speaking, using your voice, sharing your truth is going to help someone else. So, hey, kudos to you. I applaud what you did. So go ahead. I didn't mean to
He
interrupt.
was,
I just wanted to be clear.
he's married. He
Yes.
was chasing me and another yoga instructor, yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 6'7" fire captain, 4 years older than me, And so he was in my heart. And
Mm-hmm.
so I did the wife, and I put out wife energy, and he
Mm-hmm.
knew it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to come to me married, knowing I put out wife energy, knowing I don't sleep around, I don't spread my legs.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to understand that I'm going to come to you as a wife. And that was like a wife duty. It was like, he was helping me reflect on my marriage. So then I
Right.
was helping him reflect on his, and they are always firefighters.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I called out the oath of office is casual sex, sexual promiscuity,
Mm-hmm.
damages women's ability to pair bond as wives and mothers. And that's evidenced by tons of scientific data we have now because of all the sexual promiscuity over the past 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so he has an oath of office to protect the most vulnerable women and children.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever he is, a fire breaks out, he's in charge.
Right.
So I sorry, no, you do better, love yourself more. And that's a sex addiction. It's a sex
Okay.
addiction.
I gotta get you on some podiums or something. I can see you out in forums preaching to people. I'm like, go, Kerry, tell them, Kerry. Because so often people, and this is my view, because I just got out of politics. I
Mm,
didn't like the energy of politics. And I wanted to do something that really resonated with my spirit and who I am. And
yeah,
I've always known that I'm a leader, I'm a speaker, but I didn't want to waste my time, my energy, and my gifts in a field where it wasn't appreciated, right?
right,
So I'm doing it in a different way. But
yeah,
one of the things that I always talked about is I just think today we really live in an anything goes society where
mm,
people just see things that happen. And I always have this discussion with my father all the time because he's always like, Sharifa, you got to calm down. You got to calm down. And I'm like, no, I believe in righteous anger. I believe
mm.
if you see something and you don't say something, then that's a reflection of you, your character, and who you are. Now, I also tell my dad, you make it like I'm just, you know, getting mad all the time, willy-nilly. I'm not a very angry person, but there
Mm.
are situations where you have to make your voice heard. So I truly enjoy what you had to say, Kerry.
Thank you. And, I brought up my debilitating lower back pain, and that was I was repressing my femininity in my womb. And that's
Mhm.
where our voice comes from. Women are creative. So our voice is, everything. Like that's our last line of protection. It
Mhm.
used to be if mom had to come out of the home and handle something,
Right,
back up. That's
right,
what's happening right now with me. You
right.
know, I'm just like, that's my job here. I share this on my website, that I are many signs and synchronicities that my soul is the same soul as Mary Magdalene.
Oh, wow.
And that,
Wow.
yeah, it's all over my website and
Mhm.
my whole life. And so this is what I've been kind of accepting after I published my book in April of 25. In
Mhm.
June, so my birthday is June 25th, direct opposite December 25th. And so
Okay.
I bring up, I have to mention the name, like Jason Colvin from GoDaddy. He's for my guy from my childhood. He's
Okay.
my protector. So when I
Okay.
bring up that I'm this person,
Mhm.
with the current situation, I need people to know who is protecting me. That
Okay.
I can, and I know as a woman, when I feel supported with masculine support, like that left on my lower back, then I can. And that's what I need, is that I need to go. Like my last name, Bouzagl, I married an Israeli man.
Oh, wow.
And I met in Tibet. We have 3 kids together. And Bouzagl is a Sephardic Jewish name, and they've been discriminated against in Israel. So, I have, there's a lot of like in my heart
Mm-hmm.
challenges in Israel that I can address and me alone can address,
Mm-hmm.
because I've lived it in this lifetime. And
Mm-hmm.
I have Mary Magdalene's soul. You know, Jesus Christ was crucified right in front of her on Shabbat,
Mm-hmm.
when he would have been reading the Woman of Valor poem from biblical Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
And we think that he died for everybody else's sins. What about her? And she was pregnant. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's like, so, what happened was, I'll just keep going because this is my life this year. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to accept that my soul is the same soul as Mary Magdalene, which I did. And then on September 14th, I started making my YouTube videos about this truth. And then I didn't know what was coming. And I'm like, oh God, there's all kinds of prophecies. The Messiah's coming,
Mm-hmm.
the September 2025. And, there's like they killed the 10th red heifer in Jerusalem, and they're blowing the horns and the red moon, all these things. I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is it me? Because Mary Magdalene's soul am I what? So
I love your passion. I love your energy, because we were talking about frequency, and I can just tell by the way you're moving that the energy is flowing. Like there's so much energy, so much passion. Because for me, whenever I get what my dad tells me is a download, it always comes with this intense energy. And I'm always like talking. And my dad's like, okay, calm down, breathe. It's just a download. It's just the information coming through. And I'm so grateful to have my parents. We just celebrated my mom's 70th birthday yesterday. My mom was born 10/10/55. My father was born 12/12/53. So yes, there's a lot of numbers there, but you get all the energy, you get all the messages. I'm curious to why you would even want a reading for me.
Because I love connecting with people. Like I'm
Okay.
home alone in my garage.
Okay.
So let me keep going, and then I'll
Okay.
like show, like, so I'm home alone in my garage. I
Okay.
got laid off 3 weeks before I met the fire captain.
Okay.
And so I'm like laid off. I
Mhm.
meet the fire captain. I think, oh wow, I could help. This could be really amazing.
Mhm.
I could help heal the firefighters. Wow. He's
Mhm.
married, and okay, Kerry needs a lot more healing, right?
Mhm.
So let me bring it back. So now we're in September 2025.
Mhm.
And on September 26th, it just came out of me 6 divine feminine self-love strategies, which
Mhm.
a lot of them are in my book, but I really kind of condensed them and explain it really clearly on my website, kerryblaser.com.
Okay.
And it's my, what I call appreciate, learn, and forgive equals ego death, which is
Okay.
appreciate your challenges, open your heart with gratitude, like surrender to the pain, and that'll help, physiologically, emotionally, spiritually. Then self-reflect to turn your wound into wisdom. Like I had a fear of all men. And then when I saw it, I'm like, that's not logical. Men protect me. So then okay, men protect me. 50% less anxiety the next day. Like it was just transformed, right?
Okay.
And then forgiveness naturally happens.
Okay.
And then there's 5 others that, you could check on there as well. But so I wrote this out and I made a video, not knowing what that weekend was. Then
Okay.
the next day I made 2 more videos. I said, and you can, one is, if Erica Kirk were my healing client, and I give feedback on that. And then the next one was, has the church been successful at teaching love thy enemy? Which I say, no, they haven't. And then I went and sat in my recliner and had a huge enlightenment experience.
Mhm.
And I held my right hand was Catherine, Princess of Wales, with
Mhm.
regal, compassionate protection. The soul of Candace Owens on my left hand with authoritative, insightful communication. And
Mhm.
then in the circle was also J.D. Vance's wife for presidential cultivation. And with all this feminine energy, like grounding these truths. And I made a direct, like soul to soul transmission. So if you look at the map of consciousness under enlightenment, it says that when you experience enlightenment, you open up attractor energy cells inside of your soul to influence all of mankind. I'm like, oh, well, this makes sense. The more wisdom and knowledge you have, then naturally you should be more influential. Okay, yay, okay,
Yes.
cool. Right?
No, I just wanted I mean, what you're saying is just resonating with me. I had a conversation with Jerry Yusko the other day, and Jerry's interview is on my website as well, Jerry Yusko. but it was offline. We were having lunch and we're just talking. I enjoy these conversations. And I was talking to Jerry about increasing my gifts and, and I was like, but I don't know what I want to do. So Jerry says, what do you want to do? And I said, I gave him a few things that I want to do, but I did not mention being a healer, and Jerry tells me, he's like, Sharifa, God gave you these gifts for a reason. It's not just about healing you or healing specific people. It's about healing the world. And I was like, okay, Jerry, calm down, because I always have this thing. And I'm going to have her on the show. I can't wait. We talked about, she's agreed to be on the show, but we don't have a scheduled time and date yet. But, Dr. Stoloff, Isabella Stoloff, you talk about feminine energy. Dr. Isabella is amazing. When I've launched my first podcast in 2009, I've been doing this for a long time, but I just wanted to add readings to it. And so years ago, I had Dr. Isabella on the show, Dr. Stoloff. We're wonderful friends. And I was in a mood that day. And when I came to interview her, and we started talking about some of the readings. And so I was telling her, Dr. Isabella, every time somebody taps into my energy, every time they do a reading, I don't care what type of modality they use, they always say, oh, you're going to have a lot of money. And so I was telling Dr. Isabella on her interview, and I was like, but, am I going to get married? Like, why don't they ever see love? And Dr. Isabella said basically the same thing that Jerry Yusko said. She was like, Sharifa, just think about all the good that you can do with that money, all the farms you can create, all the organic food you can grow, all the people you can house, all the people you can teach. And by the time Dr. Isabella finished this, all the good I could do, I was like, I'll take it. And that's kind of how I felt when Jerry talked about healing, which reminded me of what you just said now, is that it's not about me, because me is the ego, operating from the ego. Is all the people and all the good I can do in the world.
Well, I'm going to bring up the love hierarchy just to ensure that you're following it, because self-love always comes first. So if it's on your heart for a relationship, keep opening your heart, keep loving yourself, and your soul has a plan for you. Okay. So that's how I approach it. Not what, can I do and how it might happen, because I just follow my intuition every day. So I'm going to get back to my story because it shows this point about how I live my life. And it really, as a feminine woman, works for me. So that enlightenment experience happened, and I didn't know what those 2 days were in the Hebrew calendar. Even though my ex is Israeli, he's secular. His great grandfather was the top Sephardic rabbi of Haifa. Like, he left the church because of the religious challenges in Israel, or the synagogue, So the next day, my intuition says, look up Shabbat between Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, and the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur. I'm like, okay, what's that? Oh, Shabbat Shuvah. I'm like, oh, what's Shabbat Shuvah? Sabbath of return. What is Sabbath of return? Return all the way to the heart, because in Judaism, the new year begins with a surrender to reflect on the previous year, the challenges, like learn from your challenges, appreciate, learn, and forgive. And so it just naturally came out of me in September of 2025, all of these teachings. And then when I was experiencing enlightenment, I heard rapture, 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 rapture. So I did more the next day research. I'm like, oh, so in the Messiah prophecies for September 2025, it's there's a prophecy that the Messiah is going to come and write a covenant on our hearts. I'm like, soul, heart, that's a direct soul to soul transmission, and it's going to bypass scripture directly. I'm like, oh, that's what I did. So it's a feminine way of resolving issues, which is surrender to your pain. And changing the world is an inside job.
Yes.
The higher I vibrate, you already feel it. So it helps you, and it helps everyone around me. I mean, this is what I do with my time. I experience enlightenment almost every day, on and off. Now that I opened my emotional range, I mean, I'm vibrating so high right now, because it's just, I have an opportunity to help all these people. But first and foremost, I have to help myself. and then it'll naturally come out of me. So, I got laid off 2 years ago, and right now I'm on a forbearance on my mortgage. So I have a GoFundMe, but I'm donation only. I'm Mary Magdalene Soul. I'm Kerry Blaser Bouzagl. Like, anyone who wants a session with me can have a session with me as long as I have time. It's on my website. You can book for free. And then I have the GoFundMe, donate whatever you'd like, because I don't see healing work. I mean, yes, we have to get money. We have to be able to survive. I can't live in I need money, but it's beyond money. Like, enlightenment is beyond money. Like, the value of femininity and like my ability to expand my emotional range, and how much I can help the men in my life expand their emotional range and ground into themselves and be healthy masculine men who have self-control is because of a healthy feminine heart. So a very difficult lesson I had to learn is that I'm the center, and men are once removed from the center. When I'm out, they go way out. So
we're going to have to look into that. We're going to have to look into that, because I see the energy flowing, right? And so you talk about donations and you talk about GoFundMe. So, I don't know if you do or not. I'm also a business consultant and a marketing. I do marketing and PR. So I'm about to donate some of we haven't even got, that's why we get to the cards, Kerry. We got to let it come out. We got to see what spirit wants you to know. We'll get to the pretty pictures. Okay. So I'm going to donate a consultation right now. Right. And I know that you and we can talk for hours, and we may talk some more after this show, but I just want to give you this, right? Money is energy. Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And money is a current. It's currency. Yeah. It has to flow. So even with my show, there are people who have said that they don't want to be a guest, that they love what I do. They love the readings. They will really like a reading, but because I have a fee associated with it, they're not willing to do that. But here's the thing. I'm not charging you to be a guest. I'm not charging you to even for the reading. But one of the things that I understand is the value of my time. And time has the ability to set a rate for that. Because what happens is it has to be an equal exchange, equal exchange. When I was in politics, people would come to me all the time, especially in politics. And I've done a lot of different things. And they would say, Sharifa, I love you. I support you. I believe in you. And I would say, well, that's wonderful. Now I need the physical manifestation of your support. I need the physical manifestation of your belief, right? So I'm not opposed to a GoFundMe. Who am I to tell somebody Kerry shouldn't have a GoFundMe, right? But a GoFundMe has an energy. Everything has an energy. And the energy of a GoFundMe is the energy of an emergency. People will donate when, there's a hurricane, there's wildfires, when there's a drastic immediate need. But when people look at someone and say, this is how they live, this is how they operate, this is how they do business, then usually they are less willing to make a donation, right? So this is, I'm not saying you're wrong. This is what I would highly recommend, me personally. And I checked out your website. I love what you do. I love the time and energy you put into what you do. I would recommend adding services in addition to the GoFundMe. Because there are certain people who just simply will tell you, tell me what the cost is and I'll pay it. Because if you go to any store, there's a cost associated with it. And the one thing that I know and why there's a fee for me to do what I do is that I know for a fact, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is if I did not have a fee, I would be booked from now until 2092. Okay. Right. And that's not what I want to do. So
Yeah, I just hired a marketing person yesterday. So
Thank you.
he does publishing, he does marketing, and
Mhm,
he's like going to set me up on Substack, and we're doing a
mhm,
Start a Woman of Valor podcast.
mhm,
And then he's like, okay, well, people above you don't pay people below you. So they're going to be like
mhm,
an income stream for me.
mhm,
So, and I own my condo, but
mhm,
I'd rather not sell my condo. So this is where I'm at right now. So
mhm,
I don't know that I don't know how to place a fee
mhm.
on a session for me. And so I'm going to look at, Substack and YouTube and other ways. And so
Okay.
I trust the process,
No, this is part of
Yeah.
the process.
Yeah,
You
totally.
being here is a part of the process. I have a friend
Mhm.
who channels Mary Magdalene. She's
Mm.
amazing.
Mm.
What you were saying is confirmation for what Jerry Yusko was saying, because when
Mm.
I was on his show, somebody was writing in the comments, and Jerry said exactly what you said about people opening up, and not only
Mm.
their psychic abilities, their intuition, their
Yeah.
this enlightenment, right? It's a different
Yes.
word, but it's what he was saying. But the reason it stood out is because someone was commenting, and they were saying, oh, so it's like evolving. And so I said,
Mm.
it's evolving. And Jerry
Yeah.
said, evolving. And then Jerry said, but it's not evolving, it's returning. And so when you said that, it resonated, because
Sabbath of return.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
about going back to who we were, remembering who we are as energy, as light, and that's a part of who we are. All of us, you, me, Jerry,
Yeah.
so many people are here on this time just simply to remind people of who they are, right? So in what you do, and we can definitely talk about it
Mm.
offline, but
Mm.
I believe, and I know, because
Mm.
I built my first website in the 90s. I've been
Mm.
doing this for a long time, over 30
Mm.
years, and I'm not just
Mhm.
talking about reading. I'm talking about consulting, building
Mhm.
websites, marketing, a long
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
There are services that don't have that. We'll work it out, we'll figure
Mhm.
it out, because that's what
Okay.
you came here to do, to get some messages and some
Some
energy, and
some
I get
support.
right,
Yeah.
right, and that's my support, because I tell
Yeah.
people, when I love you all the way to the bank. That's how I love,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the reason that is, again, it's not about ego, it's
Mm.
because that's how you feed your children,
Yeah.
right? That's how you put food on the table. So if
Mhm.
I'm just, in nothing I do, I may support someone in words, and maybe I gave them a message, right?
Mhm.
But you have to be able to take that message and turn it into something tangible, something
Mm.
that you can benefit from. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm a business consultant.
Mm.
Everything to me comes down to business. How
Mm.
can I help this person create a business? How can I help them do better so that
Mm.
they can take care of their family?
Yeah.
Right? Because when
Yeah.
I first started, the only thing I wanted to be was a stay-at-home mom. I was a
Yeah.
teenage mom. I wanted to be a
Mhm.
stay-at-home mom. And everything that I've done, I tell people all the time. And I've been laid off 8 times.
Yeah.
8, right? But everything is because these two little kids looked up to me. They wasn't like, oh, mom's going to be in politics, mom's going to run for governor, no, they were like, mom, what's for dinner?
Right. I
I got to
know.
feed these kids, right? And that's why I'm so adamant about,
Mhm.
let's talk, let's take a
Mm.
look
Yeah.
at how we can do this. Because what happens is, have you ever read the book, and I apologize, do we have
Mhm.
a hard stop?
No.
Okay, good, because I get to talking, and the
That's
spirit,
cool.
the
Yeah, I
energy
need the
starts
girl time.
flowing.
I need the girl talk. Yeah.
Okay, well, I got you. I'm here, and I don't have anything. I think I have something at 12 or
Okay.
2, and it's only 9. So I'm not saying I'm gonna talk for that long, but
Yeah.
everything is energy.
Mhm.
And one of my favorite books, um, The Celestine Prophecy.
I don't know
Have,
that.
have you ever read it? The Celestine Prophecy. Now,
Mm.
this book was out some years ago, and it was one of those books that was supposed to be quote unquote real, right?
Mm.
It's since supposedly been debunked. But
Mm.
even if it's a fictional story, I love the
Mhm.
Celestine Prophecy. Because one of the things that they talk about, and one of the things that I know to be true, is that in every interaction between two people, there's always, first of all, energy exchange.
Yeah.
And then in that interaction, there's always the dominant energy. And then there's always a power struggle. And this power struggle doesn't even have to be verbal. It's not like, oh, let me take over. And that's why I know how to control my energy in conversations, because I can override my guest. I can talk so much. Now that's why I have learned to pull back and listen, right? Because there's always somebody with more power. You look at mom and children, right? There's always whoever it is. So
Can I share something real quick? What you're saying? Well, I think I haven't read the book, but what I intuitively picked up on is one of my teachings about how changing the world is an inside job. So one we say more dominant is more transformational. So because I naturally vibrate higher because of all the like wound to wisdom, all the transformation work I've done, the people that are around me naturally align more with my energy as opposed to me aligning with lower vibrating energy. I think that might be what he was saying. Does that align, or maybe not?
It's an excellent example, but it's not about, because a lot of times I believe, and it's not about what you were saying, that we have to categorize things, right? This is just simply about, in any interaction, two people, I'm here, you're here. There's always an energy exchange, right? Let me take back the word power struggle. But in that energy exchange, there's always different levels of energy, right? So if the person with more dominant energy isn't more self-aware, then people with other energy have the ability, number one, to pull and take from their energy. And if they're not aware, then they can become more ego-based, because people keep coming to them because they're the all-knowing, the all-wise kind of person. So if that makes sense, again, that's why I make it where it's always an equal exchange. Equal. We're equally exchanging energy, right? There's a give, there's a take, there's an ebb, there's a flow, and that energy is not just going out. It has to come in. It has to reciprocate. That's what are you picking up what I'm putting down?
Totally. I mean, like, I know, okay, so I'm still working through wounds with who I call my original hero. And so from my childhood. And so talking to his soul, working through a wound, it's a replaceable wound, like that I'm replaceable. And then I went and got a job at 14. And he was ASB president, dad's a surgeon, super rich. We lived in a really rich town. I live with my mom in an apartment. So when he showed me that he would replace me, I went and got a job. And then it was like, that's it. So that wound is like deep. So I understand like why the money hasn't flowed yet. Like I needed to be all about the healing. And the second coming just happened like a couple weeks ago. So I'm like, okay, that happened. And I'm like winding down and then communicating about it and then writing about it. And then I just this week, I decided to change my profile on matchmaker.com, like the podcast where I can find to be a guest. And immediately someone found me who does the publishing and the marketing and is like created in the image of God. And he's a former pastor. And so I was like, I got a really good reception to saying my soul is the same soul as Mary Magdalene. But, and that was because I had the confidence, right? I waited till it was intuitively right, till the energy was acceptable for me to say that. Like I created a video on the 9th saying that I'm the female half of the Messiah teaching love thy enemy. And I added Israel on there. And that was, that came out intuitively. That was the day after the peace deal, and I came out as Bouzagl, which is a name discriminated against in Israel. It's a Sephardic Jewish last name. So I'm a woman, Bouzagl in Israel, I got some beef. So I had to come out strong and like in that energy, you know, even though I'm talking in my garage, it's a transmission because I've opened myself so much. I've made so many soul to soul direct connections that kind of coming out strong with my voice and my soul, when I eventually get to speaking to people, that creates my safety, that I've moved the emotional blocks. I've grounded the people in their hearts. So when I come to that face-to-face interaction, finally, it's safe for me. So this is why I'm doing all this work up front and all the videos and moving all the energy and all the enlightenment experience. So when I go out there, you know, and after Charlie Kirk and everything, that I'm safe. And, you know,
No, I hear you. I hear you, Kerry. I hear you. I
very
feel your
scary
heart. I
feeling.
feel, Kerry, I
I'm
got
sorry.
you.
Like,
No, don't apologize. Don't
it's
apologize.
so scary to face
It is.
Israel
But
with
here it is. Here it
with
is.
Jason. It's so scary.
Here it is. Hear me. Tune into me. Tap into my energy, right? And usually if someone was going to cry, I wouldn't cut them off, right? Because what happens is you need to release that energy. You need to release those emotions.
Yeah.
You need to hear to, but what I'm trying to tell you, it's 9/11. If you don't hear anything else I'm saying, hear me when I say, I'm gonna give you another example, right? I have found in my experience with working with people, because I don't work with companies, I work with people, right? They can be the founders or the owners of
It's a
companies,
person. Yeah.
but I work with people. And I learned that early on because, like I said, I was laid off 8 times and my expertise is in startups. And I was working with probably the second startup in my career, and it was 2 brothers who launched a company. And one of the brothers was a New York stockbroker, and he was the money, and the other one was the creative with the ideas. So I was talking to the New Yorker one day, the stockbroker, and I said, "How do you choose companies to invest in?" And he said, "I don't invest in companies, I invest in people." So I've taken that, and that's what I do. I don't help companies. I'm not here to help your company, Kerry.
Right.
I'm here to help you, right?
Yeah.
That's what I do. Not just with the cards, but I'm telling you beyond a shadow of a doubt, based on experience, that I have found 100% of the time, the people who have the most difficulty in receiving money, see, it's not just about safety. It's about you receiving money. It's the givers. It's the nonprofits. It's the people who want to do so much. People who are in business, who understand that they are in business, have no problem receiving money because they understand it's a business. People who are in service-oriented things, nonprofits, along with that, usually have a blockage, a money blockage, right? And that's one of the things I do. And I don't always do it live, but this is my commitment to me, and why I wanted to do live reading is because when I'm talking about it later on, I can say, well, watch Kerry's interview. Kerry's interview is amazing. And we talked about that. It's because people have not a lot of nonprofit founders started in corporate America. And because they started in corporate America, they push away. They don't want that energy. They don't want that energy of a dog eat dog world. But everything has to be in balance. If you're out of balance, that's not healthy for you. And see, because you resonate so high, you have to remember, and I don't like telling people what they have to do, but scripture tells us that you must have everything of this world as well. And I believe that God says, it is my pleasure to give you the kingdom. It is my pleasure for you to have more. He takes care of the birds and the bees. Why would he not take care of the Son of Man? Right? So with your energy, Kerry, is not just about your safety. Your safety is the primary focus. Absolutely, 100%. But what I'm telling you is, if you don't change the way you see the energy around you, everybody will just come in. Everybody will just come in.
So, I mean, but that's why I'm here today. So like yesterday, like you reached out, and then like today. So I'm like, I need her. I need this tarot reading.
Here.
Yeah, totally. Can I point something out back?
Yes.
In the beginning, you say, why do you need me?
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is
Yes.
why I need you. Because
Okay.
you're the one that's get, it's like this is the exact time for it, right? Like
Right.
I've done all this work. I started opening up economically this week by
Okay.
creating the GoFundMe this week. And I'm
Okay.
like, okay, I'll put money on marketing. It's like
Okay.
I'm just so you're here to help me just break that door open,
Okay.
and then letting it flow. Like I have a renter moving out. And so,
Okay.
okay, I'm not going to be in the garage anymore because I feel safe now, right? I'm going to
Okay.
move upstairs. I'm going to, bring my business up into the light,
Yes.
have the energy flowing in there, better
Yes.
lighting, start my podcast, start my Substack, have them help me do marketing for the book. I got accepted to a mentor program with a production company in LA. So I'm writing a script.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have all of these, things I'm doing, but I'm just excited that this is why I'm here. I just like, oh my God, tomorrow, I got to see her tomorrow. I got to go, And so this is why. So yay.
Amen. We answered that question. You are amazing. You are
You're
amazing.
amazing.
You are amazing. But the thing about it is receive.
Mm-hmm.
Receive all of the blessings that God has for you of this earth. Not
Yeah.
only everything else of this earth, right? So when I talk to people, especially the spiritual people, they always talk about giving and being of service. Like I said, that's what I went through. But it's a energy. I'm not gonna keep lecturing you, Kerry, because you're crying again. I don't mean to make the guests cry, but I'm like you.
It's
When
good
I'm
for me to cry.
passionate about
Crying is
something.
healthy, It's like,
Okay.
and I'm home alone all the time.
Okay. Well,
And
we're
I
gonna be
needed
here.
that, and so this interaction with me, like, this is my girl time. So the
Okay.
crying is good for me. Maybe we do tarot now and I'll cry while you do tarot.
Okay. No, but I'm telling you, it's 9:17. We've been talking for a minute. I can tell you what the cards are gonna say, and we're gonna read it.
Oh,
But
okay.
what I'm gonna see, I don't always do this because everybody's like, it's not about the cards. It's not, they're pretty pictures, and I always recommend that people write down the cards because for me, it's my signs and my symbols. But something may be a different sign or symbol for you. Also, it may be something, a point that spirit was trying to get over to you that I may not even touch on. So I always just say, write them down, Google them, research it, because there's an aspect of it. Out of 78 cards, why do those 10 cards show up for Kerry? Why is that the message? You know what I mean? I'm just the message that, again, I want to just, because first of all, it's going to be some pinnacles, right? I already know. I'm telling you, I don't even have to wave my hand. I already know, because what I feel when I tap into your energy and I speak to you is that you're a giver, but it has to have balance.
Yes.
And spiritual people tend to forget that part of receiving is surviving on this earth. So even when you have, I love the paint. You said your mom painted the picture behind you?
No, we got it in France when I lived in southern France.
Oh, see, but a lot of people believe the myth of the starving artist, right? And then they don't get their just due after they passed. But your art, your talent, your gift is supposed to, like scripture, tell me when I'm wrong. It says that everybody was given at least one gift, one talent. Let me say it the correct way. One talent. But what people don't understand is that talent is supposed to sustain them here on earth. Some people were given one, some people were given 5, some people were given 10. I think sometimes I have so many I can't focus, right? Now I'm focused on more of a spiritual path, but those talents allow you to do everything you want to do in life, Kerry. Okay. Are you tired of the Sharifa sermon yet?
No, I'm crying. Like, you got me open, you got me moving energy. Like, this is exactly what I needed.
Okay.
And I could have thought, oh, well, she charges a fee. I'm like, no, I need that. Because like the money's got to go out and the money will come back in. I trust the process, So
The other aspect of me charging that fee, I
Yeah.
always say this too, is a lot of the people, especially most successful people, you're not dealing with them directly. You're
Right.
dealing with their publicist, their
Mhm.
PR representative. And I
Mhm.
always ask them when the PR people especially argue with me about my fee, I
Mhm.
say, but you can charge them $10,000 a month to find them podcasts, but
Right.
you don't give any of that $10,000 a month to the podcast host.
Right.
That just, again, that's not an equal exchange for me.
Right.
So you want me to talk to your client who paid you to provide a service, but I'm supposed to provide my service for free.
Right.
I say no.
Right.
I choose not to. And everything is about choices,
That's a
right?
healthy boundary. I mean, I had to, it took me a long time, but a healthy boundary is a magnificent, magical thing.
And I
Because I
got
found that every time I draw a healthy boundary, the other person is just forced to face themselves. If I'm not going to absorb their negativity, then and they have to sit in it, that's the only way they change. I'm like, oh, it's like magic works every time. Yay.
right. So we're gonna get you some services, Kerry. We're gonna
Okay.
get you some services.
Yeah.
That's what we came to learn before the cards, is we gonna get you some services. We gonna figure out how we gonna break this down into services, because you're pushing a lot of traffic and a lot of energy to
Yeah.
your website, right? So we have to give something, for some way for them to give back to you. And then you can do more marketing. Your book's on there, and I'm pretty sure you're not giving that book away for free.
No, I mean, it's on Amazon. You can find it on Amazon.
Okay, there you
And
go.
so I'm just like, this week, just I said, this is who I am. And then the doors are all opening. I'm like, okay, yay. And
Yeah.
like, I'm here. I'm moving upstairs. I'm coming out.
Come on now,
This is my
Kerry.
coming out party. How about that?
Okay, I'm gonna see if my I'm coming out, celebrate good times card comes out. So I'm gonna start the reading. I've been shuffling this entire time. The reason that I shuffle was for 3 different reasons. Number 1, this is my sign to spirit that I'm about to do a reading. Number 2, I am erasing, removing any of the energy from anybody I've read for in the past. And number 3, I'm just connecting to you and your energy. Okay. So have you had a reading before, Kerry?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Because everybody's different. And my mom says I do a do-it-yourself reading. I'm like, that's the card. Go Google it, right? Some people, and that's what I don't like. Everybody's different, but there's a veil of secrecy. There's this idea that I'm important and you have to come to me for the information. And some people won't even tell you what the cards are. I want you to write the card down, because it's not about me. Even with people, I had one reading, I'm not going to tell you who she was, but is on my website, where she told me I was wrong. And I said, no, that's what spirit says. She was like, no, that's not it. And I said, let me tell you something. No, she said, I'm not saying you're wrong. I said, it's not about me being wrong, because none of this is about me. I'm gonna go on with my life and live happily ever after, whether you listen or not. This is about you. I've been talking too long.
With some healers that I went to, they would hide things and come back next time and tell me what to do. And I'm like, you see me healing and you want me to leave the relationship? Like, how does that make sense? Oh, wait, you haven't healed. Right. So now you're triggered. So now I need to change because you don't like being triggered in a healing session I'm paying for. That's like what I see, but that's my job. And that was, that was 2021 with this healer. And I was like, what came out? I'm like healing compliance. And like, that was the year I was told I'm a healer's healer. And so all these things have come out, but no, I really thank you so much for going so strong on that. That's exactly why I'm here. Exactly why I need that extra, push through this very painful wall for me, and then my masculine. Okay.
So before, so you got all this stuff that I first of all, I do private readings and public readings. And the reason why I do more in private is because there are certain things that we don't want everybody to know. Like, there are certain things we do want to, but the wall, right? I'm going to tell you right now, cancel the wall, remove the wall, accept as fact that the wall is gone. Because if you feel and you believe, or you feel that wall return, tell it cancel. It's gone. The wall is no longer there. That wall is healed. Yes. It's gone.
That's the wall. Like, I'm
okay, but are you willing to release it? Are you willing to? Okay, so is it gone?
It's gone.
Okay, that's all you have to say, is that it is gone. It's gone.
Thank you.
and just know that it's gone. So if you see its shadow, just know that the wall is gone. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and do your reading, because my people tuning in, they're gonna be like, Sharifa, when you gonna get to the reading? When you gonna get to the cards? Okay. So in every reading, the first card is always the issue. So the main theme, the main issue that you're going through right now, Kerry, there you go. It's the world.
The world. Oh,
it's the world, right? It is the world. And the world is a major arcana card. Arcana meaning change, right? So you have major arcana cards, you have minor arcana cards. Major arcana cards are things that change the course of history. These are your births. These are your deaths. These are your weddings. These are your divorces. These are things where life will never be the same again. These are major shifts, major transformations in your life. Arcana means change. So minor changes, minor arcana are minor life changes. These are things that might affect you today. You might be walking down the street, it's raining, and the car splashes water on your jeans. Nobody likes it, right? But 2 years, 2 months, you're not going to remember it. These are just minor life changes. So the major arcana all teaches us a major lesson on the fool's journey. We all come into this world as the fool. We're born as the fool. And tarot is called the fool's journey. The reason tarot is called the fool's journey is because there's an expression that says God protects fools and infants. The reason God protects fools and infants is because those are the only two people on earth that don't think they know everything. You have to be open on this journey of life. Open. You talk about, making changes, and enlightenment. If you ever get to the point where you're like, I'm at the top enlightenment, that's when you know you're not operating out of fool's energy, because there's always higher, there's always more, there's always greater, right? So the tarot, the major arcana begins with the fool, but it ends with the world, right? So the world symbolizes completion. But it's just simply completion of this journey, of this path, which is beautiful confirmation, because you're like, okay, now I'm ready to go out of the garage. I'm ready to go out into the light. I'm ready to step out there. I'm ready to do more videos. I'm ready to do more marketing. I'm moving upstairs. So the world is a wonderful sign of the completion of the journey that you have been on. But life is cyclical. Once you complete one journey, you have to start the next. So once you step upstairs and you begin that journey, understand that now you're in a new beginning. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it feels good. I love a new beginning. Okay. So ready for a new beginning. Yeah.
The world is completion. What's over it, and your challenge for the world is the King of Wands. The King of Wands. Right? Becoming the King of Wands. Wands are action. Wands are career. Wands are movement. Fire energy moves very quickly, right? And so the King's energy, one of the things that I always see, and they say kings, you either want to have that aspect of yourself or that's somebody around you, right? But here's the main thing. A king is a wonderful sign, a wonderful omen, because one thing that's clear with any of the kings is the king is not trying to figure it out. He's the king. He's the ruler. So he's not like a page or a knight who's trying to, no, he has his kingdom, right? He can expand it, but he already is the king. Does that make sense? So part of the challenge in this new beginning is stepping into the energy of the king. And the king has lots of money.
Has lots of what?
Money. Right? The king has lots of money. So the next card that you have is the Nine of Pentacles. I told you you're going to have some pentacles. First one. This is the first one. 9 of Pentacles, which is beautiful, 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 because and that's a minor arcana card. Minor arcana cards, again, are minor life changes. But I always say the minor arcana is like that customer service survey. When you go do a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being excellent, 1 being you need a whole lot of work, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So 9,
yeah, I did pretty good.
Is almost there.
Yeah.
The only difference between the 9 of Pentacles is the 10 of Pentacles is my legacy card. 10 of Pentacles is my generational card, generational wealth card, right? So in the 9 of Pentacles, she has enough. In the 10 of Pentacles, she has more than enough. She has, that's the family, that's generational wealth, right? But the 9 of Pentacles is about that feminine energy, that woman, beautiful gold, green, blue. She's chilling in the garden with the life, with the birds. She's not worried. She's not stressed. She knows she has enough. Okay. And Pentacles, again, is not just about money. It's about the physical manifestation of all your heart's desires. Okay. Okay. So the 4th card that you have, Kerry, I be knowing it, Kerry. I know what I know.
Women know.
4 of Pentacles.
Oh, what does that mean?
4 of Pentacles. 2nd Pentacle. Told you was gonna have some Pentacles. Told you your main issue was money, right? So the 4 of Pentacles is my miser card. And the miser card warns against holding on too tight. You can't really see it, but you look in the picture, he's holding all his 4 coins to his chest. He says, nobody gonna steal my pentacles, right? But what he forgets is that money is a current and that money has to flow. And so, she is holding on to those pentacles, but see, there's an expression in what I believe that for whatever you give, you are blessed tenfold. So she might have 4 pentacles, but if she invested those 4 pentacles or she gave those 4 pentacles, then she would have 40 pentacles, right? But so she's so focused on holding them, she's not allowing the energy to flow. So whenever I get the 4 pentacles, that's my sign. And I tell people all the time, that is my go shopping card. Go shopping. Now, again, and I always have to say it, don't go tell the people Sharifa said go buy the new Mercedes or go buy that mansion. That's not what I'm saying. It's symbolism. So when I go shopping, you can go to the 99-cent store. You could go to Dollar Tree. But it's showing God's spirit that I know that I have more. I have more than enough. So I can release my whole, which is again confirmation, because you said I just started investing in marketing. So something intuitively in you knew it's time for me to invest the physical manifestation, which is money, in what I'm doing. So that's a beautiful sign and a beautiful confirmation. Okay. You with me,
I just was shown like I can go, I need some more tops for like, because YouTube, I just need a top. So I can go to the thrift store, I can get some nicer tops so I can have a little more, variety. And upstairs, like I put my hair up because I get so hot in the garage because it's like stuffy in here. But I can bring out more of my, my feminine beauty. And
but that's your investment. So even when you go get those tops, I'm pretty sure it's something that you're going to see. You're like, I really like this, but should I?
Get it, do it.
That's an investment. That's an investment, because that favorite top, you looking amazing. People are going to be like, oh, she looks great. I want to work with her. Okay.
Thank you.
So don't hold on too tight, Kerry, to the money, because the next card, Kerry, I love doing readings. I'm having fun. I love when I have fun. It's the sun.
Oh, okay.
The sun, right? And the sun is a major arcana card. But the sun, for me, I tell people, is my Annie card. If you've ever seen the movie Annie.
Oh, Annie. Yeah.
Annie,
yeah.
Right. So what does Annie say? Annie says the sun will come out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. But the symbolism and why it's my Annie card is that Annie just doesn't go from a small little apartment to a house. Annie literally goes from an orphanage to a mansion. So that's a drastic change, a drastic shift. That's a whole new life that she never could have imagined. In that orphanage, she was never sitting there dreaming about Daddy Warbucks, right? But the sun comes up. Some readers literally read the sun card as a pregnancy card. I don't know. Sometimes people are, they aren't. But what the literal meaning is, it's a new life. And that's why it symbolizes, and think of the energy. Go watch it, sing with, watch the song. The sun is going to come up tomorrow, because that's a major shift. And the next card that you have is the Eight of Swords. 8 of Swords, right? Ideal for you. Swords are thoughts. Swords are ideas. Swords are in your mind. And so for me, the Eight of Swords is the damned if you do, damned if you don't card, right? Because she is blindfolded. She's not handcuffed. She's just standing in a ring of 8 swords, which means she's standing in a ring of her thoughts. She's thinking about all the things that could happen, all the things that could go wrong. Okay. If you don't take a step, you don't get hurt. Because she's like, oh, if I move in this direction, I'm going to get cut. It is a possibility, but you can't stay in the chair for 4 days trying to reach enlightenment. At some point, you have to get up, move out into some direction, right? You cannot stay stuck forever.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Does that make
totally.
sense?
That was hard for him. Like, can I just stay in enlightenment? Because I really don't like shame. Like, oh no, the energy has to fluctuate. I'm like, okay.
Yes. Life is cyclical. You have the good and the bad. You take the sun with the rain. But at least you have the sun, which means the moon card is a sign of mixed emotions. And people get mixed emotions because they're not seeing. They can't see. So every tree branch becomes a monster, right? The sun, at least you are seeing your situation clearly. So you can step out there in faith. Okay. The next card that you have is the Seven of Wands. 7 of Wands. Wands being action, right? This is my David and Goliath card. Beautiful for you, David and Goliath. And the reason it's called David and Goliath, or I call it David and Goliath, is because this literally is about going up against challenges that are greater, not greater, let me retract that, bigger than you, right?
Perceived greater, maybe.
Perceived, yes, perceived as greater than you. But I believe, and I've been told, and I live by that God can make the odds 1,000,000 to 1, 1,000,000 to 1, right? Because if it was 1 to 1, anybody could do it. If it was easy, anybody could do it. But if the odds for what you're doing is 1,000,000 to 1, only God can do it. Give God the glory, right? And so the Seven of Wands to me is about these challenges where you're like, God, I don't know if I could move that mountain. And it says, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can say to the mountain, move, and the mountain shall move. That's the energy of the Seven of Wands. Okay.
That applies.
Okay. So the next card that you have, beautiful, is the Star. You got the Star and the Sun, major arcana cards. And the Star is about that little girl inside you that used to believe and used to dream and used to wish upon a star. This is about, that's about her wishing upon a star. This is about her believing. This is about you pulling that energy through of her. Oh, beautiful. Or what she, yes.
My mom,
they are so beautiful. I love it. And you, when you moved, I noticed that you have the sun behind you. I think
these are my kids. My kids, like my sons, and then my other 2 daughters. They're, this is the most precious art because the most rare from my son. He's an Eagle Scout.
One of them drew the sun.
That's my youngest.
Yes. That's so beautiful. That is so.
They have my back. That's why I do that. They have my back.
You are so right. The next card that, girl, I just love this for you. The next card you have is Strength, right? I love this card, and I love this card for you because if you can see, it's a lion who has laid down with the woman, right? But what this means is that lion is there because he wants to be there. He's not there by force. He's not there because the lady made him be there. He's there because he wants to be there. So strength is not about the masculine energy of brute force. You can't force it to happen. You have to use your feminine energy, and allow it to happen. Use your inner strength,
Yeah.
your inner guidance, your feminine will get you everywhere you want to go. So I did a 10 card reading. I've done 9 cards. I always give the position for the first, which is your main issue, and then the final outcome. Everything else is along the way, little things that you need to know. So for me, the final outcome is always at the end of the day, Sharifa, what are you saying? What is it that Kerry needs to know? And your final outcome is the 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups. And I think that's beautiful. I think that's one of the most beautiful ways for you, because the 2 is a minor arcana card, right? Some say it symbolizes new love, right? Because Ace of Cups is self-love. So you learned that lesson, Kerry. But once you learn to love yourself, then and only then do you have the ability to love someone else. But it doesn't have to be romantic love. It can also be about partnership. But I love that because the 2 people are full of hope. This is the energy of a new relationship before any of the fights, the arguments, the you make me sick, whatever it is. I don't know how toxic people relationships are, but it can also be about partnerships. So I would look at this again as a way to work with other people. Use that energy to build and to grow. It's a minor arcana card and it's a 2. 2s are very far from the 10. Your 5s are always your halfway point, and 5s are always your challenges. So even in a new relationship, it hasn't gone through the challenges, but minor arcana is cyclical. They go all through the cups to get back together, only to try to get back to where they were in the 2. So if you can hold on to that feeling and hold on to that love, now it'll be easier to go through any challenges. The 2 of Cups energy for me is always Shaka Khan through the pain. No, it's what is it? Through the fire. Sorry, through the fire.
Yeah. I had to learn to forge my own fire this lifetime.
Yes. But God says where any 2 are joined in his name, I am the 3rd, right? So therefore, it takes 2. When God blesses the unity, it will multiply out into the world. So I think to sum up your reading, Kerry, is that the main lesson that I see is really to just know and trust that all is well, that you have everything happen, everything you need right here, right now, this here, this now. Don't hold on too tight to anything, the way it looks, to what you need. Just trust and let go. That's my main message. Did this reading resonate with you?
Yeah. I cried a lot. Thank you. Like, it's just so helpful for me.
Do you have any questions for me?
I know. I'm good. That was like, thank you.
Okay. Well, we went, I don't even know. I never even set an end time for any of the shows, but we've been talking for a long time. We have reached the last few seconds of the show. And what I love to do at the end of every show is just simply allow my guests a few seconds to speak directly to the audience, to everyone who is watching live, as well as everyone who is watching in the archives, and let them know what you want them to take away from your appearance here today and where they can pick up a copy of your book.
I would love for everyone to go to my website, kerryblaser.com, and check out, it says Second Coming is the link at the top, and then scroll down to the 6 Divine Feminine Self-Love Strategies, because that's my spiritual harvest for this year, and I'd love to share that with everybody. And then my book is on Amazon, My Inner Heroine, Exploring Feminine Pain, and if you like GoFundMe, then she'll put a link for that below too. Thank you.
Absolutely. I want to thank you, Kerry, for being today's guest on this episode of Read Me Live. If you want to be right there where Kerry is and you want your own reading, visit my website at readmelive.com. Until next time, everyone have a safe and a blessed day. Bye now.